Good morning. Morning from the garden. It is a lovely one, too. Maybe 60. A little unusual for May here in the South. Just a couple of quick updates on our squash, where we've put our A-frame trellis. We're starting to come up against them. We'll start sending out feelers, start vining up. And this amaranth is growing very quickly. Remember, this was the volunteer elephant amaranth. And I also have several elephant bill that are doing very well. And I'm going to be soaking the moonflower seeds in preparation for planting. They have a hard, this is the seed pod from last year, but the seeds inside, yeah, that's underneath. You can see they're very with a hard outer shell. And so by soaking them or using a nail file on them, it will help the seed when it's time to germinate. So the bush beans, I planted a few more because the original ones, I only had one that came up. I'm also getting some folks snacking on them, so I did spray in neem oil, but I have 4 total now coming up, and that will help. I'm trying something called succession planting, where you have your plants that you first planted, and then you keep planting so that you have them in succession, and you have vegetables and fruit throughout the season. And then the blackberries really starting to fruit up, and I have to be careful around this one. I've noticed so many pollinators really taking advantage of the flowers, so I'm trying to give them a lot of space. It's been a little dry as well, so I've been watering the blackberries a little bit to help with that fruiting process. Otherwise, we've noticed that we end up with very small, hard fruits. This is a bird bath that we had in the past, and we've since converted it to a flower bed. I'm growing Agastache or hummingbird mint this year, and I got a little iron or steel, some sort of metal that's rusting dragonfly in there. Kind of cute. And these will grow and get about 2 to 3 feet tall, and the hummingbirds do love them. So that will be fun to watch. It's an exciting day in the garden and in the greenhouse. We got our very first orange hat tomato that's ripe. Hooray! Yeah. But not only is that the first one, we've got a second one. Hooray! We're going to put him on a tiny salad. So we are about to have tomato explosion as well. This one's been flowering. Ton of tinies. Couple of little ones there. There's a super tiny. And I'm going to show you this. This is the rainforest pepper that had the virus. Still got some curl, but actually doing pretty well. And the eggplants also just loving life. I've been putting the Rosella tomatoes outside because the weather's been nice. And they seem to be enjoying the extra space. Same with the tomatillos, who are really getting big, exploding. little tinies on there. And some of the peppers are flowering. So, just a nice week of warm, temperate weather. It's warm in the greenhouse this afternoon, about 85 degrees, but not unpleasant. Nice breeze coming through. Let's do a quick checkup on our blackberries. Ooh, fruit. I think it's time to finally check on the elephant garlic. It looks like most of the greenery has died off or in the process of dying off. So I'm going to do this on the patio and make room for walking through this area. So these are the elephant garlic that I started last fall. And according to everything that I've read, they are ready to see what's up. Now, I planted them in grow bags, just like everything else. I really don't know what I'm going to find. So let's see here. I'm going to loosen that up. So, according to what I had read, this is a corm, and they're like little offshoots. You can use these to start new garlic, and there's several of them on here, but I will want to put this back in the dirt. I'll cut it off and might put new dirt in there, and we will let it go for a whole nother year. These are biennial, right? So it takes 2 years for them to fully mature. When I put this in there, it was 1 clove, and it looks like it has not really gotten that much bigger. Let's check on the other 2. Well, this one's much bigger. Oops. This one's much bigger. It smells good too. And it still has some of these corms. They're called corms. So that one's going to be good to put back in the ground. And our last one here, I'm just loosening up the dirt a little bit before I go spelunking. Oops. Oh, it was really in there. Okay. Well, again, I don't know anything about garlic, so this is an experiment. So we'll plant it again and let it have another go and see what happens. All right, last thing I'm gonna cover. I finally found what I think was a reputable source for some information about the elephant garlic. These little bullets are called corms. You can plant them or you can eat them. Apparently they make a pretty tasty dish in a stir fry. If you plant them, they'll come back smaller. and produce something with apparently like 4 to 5 cloves. These I'm going to trim them off, and I am going to replant them. So we'll see. Or you can just use them as this big single bulb. But I really would like to see what happens in the second year. But anyway, that is it for this week. Thanks for coming on our gardening journey. Garden Weirdos, thanks for watching. See you next week.